Now, I recently got my first look at the Samsung Galaxy Book 360 with its Super AMOLED display, full HD resolution, 16:9 aspect ratio. I have my long-term review coming up in the next couple of days, so stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, I took delivery of what might be a better option, the ASUS ZenBook 13 UM325, and I gotta say, this is really blowing me away. Not only does it have a 13.3-inch OLED display with a full HD resolution, but it gets brighter than the Samsung offering, coming in at 400 nits. Gorgeous OLED display. It's also powered by the AMD Ryzen 7 5700U processor, giving it some really good performance. We're gonna get into that and more in this video. Hey everybody, it's Andrew, and this is my unboxing and first look at the ASUS ZenBook 13 UM325. Coming up. Now, as we take a look at the specs, in the interest of transparency and full disclosure, I'm not being paid by ASUS. I'm not being sponsored by ASUS. All the opinions you're about to hear are my own. ASUS is not getting copy approval. That means they're seeing this video for the first time, just like you. Now, this review unit is on loan from ASUS, and once this review is done, I'll be sending it back. Now, pricing as configured is $899.99, and to me, that is an excellent price for a really great laptop, especially with an OLED display. For those interested, I'll leave a link in the description below for more information and where you can buy one. And with specs and pricing out of the way, let's find out what you get inside the box. Let's open it up. Now, lifting the lid, you're greeted by the unit itself. We're going to get to this in just a moment, but before we do that, you also get some information regarding your warranty, and you also get some documentation about this laptop. You get a 65-watt USB-C power adapter. You get a USB-A to Ethernet adapter, which is always good as a nice value add-on, and you also get a 3.5mm to USB-C adapter, which you're going to need because this laptop doesn't have a 3.5mm headphone jack. And they also give you a carrying sleeve. Again, another value add-on here at no additional cost. I like what ASUS is doing here. And holding this unit for the first time, the first thing that comes to mind is how portable this is, the extremely lightweight at 2.51 pounds or 1.13 kilograms. Definitely portable to take with you on the go. I like that portability aspect of this laptop. I also like its all-metal design. It's got a really nice cylindrical finish on it as far as that design is concerned, and it has a really nice pine gray finish, giving it a sleek and modern look. But one thing to note, it is a major fingerprint magnet. You will be wiping it down quite a bit. Okay, let's check out the port selection. We're going to start off on the left side. We get one HDMI 2.1 port, and you get two USB 3.2 Gen 2 Type-C ports. And moving over to the right side, you get a micro SD card reader along with one USB 3.2 Gen 1 Type A port. Notably missing, there's no headphone jack. You'll have to use the included adapter in the box if you want to use wired headphones. Needless to say, I'm not a big fan of them not including a 3.5mm headphone jack on the device itself. To get inside this laptop, what you need to do is remove the T5 Torx screws, pop off the bottom plate, and you're in. Now, once inside, you'll notice the single fan for cooling, and you'll also will notice the 4-cell 67-watt-hour battery. Now, battery life has been pretty good so far. I've been seeing more than 14 plus hours on my continuous web surfing test over Wi-Fi at 150 nits. I'll do more testing, of course, of the battery in my upcoming full review. Now, the only thing that's user upgradable is the SSD, although you get some really good reads and writes, as you can see from the results. Unfortunately, the RAM is soldered into the motherboard. You won't be able to upgrade that, but you can get it in either 8 or 16 gigabytes of LP DDR4X RAM. And the good news is this is running in dual channel mode to get maximum performance out of this Ryzen chipset. This has Wi-Fi 6 along with a Bluetooth 5 combo, and both are working well on that front. Unfortunately, that is soldered into the motherboard. You won't be able to upgrade the Wi-Fi card down the road. But the good news is, of course, it is Wi-Fi 6, so it's good for the foreseeable future. Okay, let's talk about the display, and what we're looking at here is a 13.3-inch OLED Full HD display with a resolution of 1920 by 1080. That means this has a 16:9 aspect ratio, which is great for consuming media. Watching Netflix, Amazon, and YouTube is really great. You won't have any black bars. But for productivity work, I actually prefer a 16:10 aspect ratio, as you'll do less scrolling when it comes to web browsing. You'll see more on the display. Now, as with any OLED display, you get the really deep blacks, the very vibrant colors, and it also has a low blue light filter on this. That means you're going to get less eye strain as a result, and that's actually pretty good. This is a Pantone validated display according to ASUS, and it's also an HDR 500 true black display. And it also gets pretty bright coming in at 400 nits, making this good for both indoor and outdoor use, although it is a glossy display, and you will notice some glare and reflections when you have certain lighting conditions or in direct sunlight. So please keep that in mind. And as with an OLED display, you get those really deep blacks, the very vibrant colors, and that super excellent contrast, and that's exactly what you're going to get here, although not the most color accurate at a Delta E score of 2.90. I'd like to see it below 2, but it is somewhat color accurate nonetheless. And as far as the coverage of the color gamut, we're looking at 92% of sRGB, 72% AdobeRGB, 72% of the DCI P3 wide color gamut, and 66% NTSC, makes it a pretty good choice for content creators as far as doing Lightroom, Photoshop, and of course, video editing. But we're not getting that 100% DCI P3 wide color gamut that we were hoping to get on this. A little bit less, of course, at 72%, not quite as good. But don't get me wrong, this is an excellent OLED display that gets brighter than, say, something like the Samsung Galaxy Book 360 that I just took a look at, which just doesn't get bright enough, even though it has a Super AMOLED display. This has a leg up on that. So this is the front-facing camera on the ASUS ZenBook 13, running the Ryzen 7 5700U processor, of course, that is from AMD. Now we're looking at a 720p webcam, 30 frames per second. Is it good for Zoom? Is it good for any of your work from home needs? Let me know in that comment section below. How does it look in terms of the video quality, and how is its audio as far as the internal mics are concerned? I am curious to know. Now that camera is an infrared camera. That means you can log in with face recognition with Windows Hello, and it worked pretty well. Now there is a key on the keyboard that allows you to turn off the webcam for more security and privacy. You gotta love that. Now what we have here as far as audio is concerned are two bottom-facing speakers. They're Harman Kardon tuned, and they actually sound pretty good. It gets pretty loud, pretty rich sound, and there is some bass on it, which is really good, especially for a 13.3-inch ultra-portable laptop. I was actually impressed on how well it filled up a small-sized room. It's pretty good. And for those wondering, yes, you can open the lid with one finger. And one thing you'll notice when you do open the lid, it has an Ergolift Hinge. That means you'll have a nice raised typing angle, which will give you a more comfortable typing experience. And it also will increase the airflow, which will give you better thermals. And that is a great aspect of the Ergolift Hinge. I really like it. Now, as far as the keyboard itself is concerned, you're looking at 1.4 millimeters of key travel, which is really good, especially for an ultra portable. Really good tactile feedback, and you don't feel like your fingers will bottom out. I really like that. I also like the fact that it has a multi-stage backlight that really gets bright. You can actually see a nice differentiation between the key and the backlight, allowing you to work in a dark room or a dimly lit environment. It worked really well. And it has a precision touchpad that actually worked pretty well. Two-finger scrolling was buttery smooth, and all the gestures worked as you'd expect. Good job on that front. And with a press of the button, the touchpad turns into the screen pad, which gives you a numeric keypad, which allows you to crunch numbers. You're going to like that as well. Okay, let's talk about the performance. So far, 24 hours in, I am impressed with that AMD Ryzen 7 5700U AMD processor, which of course is based on the Zen 2 architecture. And I gotta say, the numbers are looking good, especially for the multi-core performance. As you can see with the Geekbench 5 results, you can see it really did well. Now, as far as the graphics are concerned, this has integrated Radeon graphics. I would say they're pretty good, not quite as good as the integrated XE graphics we've been seeing out of Intel as of late. I will bring you all the performance numbers, and I will test the thermals in my upcoming full review. I've just had it for 24 hours. I need more time to put it through the full testing that I normally do. Okay, let's bring it all home. What do I think about the ASUS ZenBook 13 UM325 here for 2021? And I gotta say, I really do like it. I like its really good performance so far out of that 5th generation AMD Ryzen 7 processor. I like the impressive battery life that this is getting with that 67 watt-hour battery. I love the excellent value coming in at $899. That is an exceptional value in my opinion, especially for what you're getting with an OLED display that offers exceptional contrast. It really is gorgeous. And I like its generous selection of ports, although I don't like the fact that there's no headphone jack and there's no Thunderbolt support since this is running an AMD processor. But there are no real deal breakers here, ladies and gentlemen. Excellent performance with a gorgeous OLED display, and I can't wait to bring you my full review coming very soon. So what do you think about this bad boy, the ZenBook 13, running that Ryzen 7? You're gonna love that cylindrical design with this pine gray finish. And I gotta say, I'm really liking it, especially with the look on it. It's sleek, it's modern. I love that 13.3-inch OLED display. It gets bright, it's sharp, it's vivid. It's everything you want in an OLED display. It looks absolutely gorgeous in my opinion. I like the performance so far of that AMD Ryzen 7 5700U. Yes, it's based on the Zen 2 architecture, not the Zen 3, but you could also get this with the 5800U, which is based on the Zen 3. So far, battery life is looking good with its 67 watt-hour battery. I'm looking at 14 plus hours on my continuous web surfing test over Wi-Fi at 150 nits. So that is looking pretty good. Sound out of the 2 bottom-facing speakers is actually really good so far. Really impressed with this 13-inch ultra portable. I got a lot more to come, especially testing everything on this in terms of the performance, the battery life, the thermals, everything in my upcoming full review. You don't want to miss it. Stay tuned for that. So please hit the like button, please subscribe, please share this video. Don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know how I'm doing. Let me know if there's a device or something out there you think I should review. I'll do my best to try to make that happen. Don't forget to check me out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course my website, amdtechreviews.com. So until next time, this is Andrew from AMD Tech. See ya.